Have you ever taken something for granted? Something so constant in your life that you never stopped to think about how much it really meant? I did. For years, I questioned, I doubted, and I even blamed the one person who gave everything for me. But life has a way of teaching lessons in ways we never expect. This is a story about sacrifice, love, and a truth that changed everything for me. If you've ever had someone who stood by you no matter what, someone who put you first even when you didn't see it, then this story is for you. The beginning of doubt. Growing up, my mother, Evelyn, was always there. She woke up before the sun, cooked, cleaned, went to work, and still found a way to make sure my siblings and I had everything we needed. She never complained, never asked for anything in return. But as I grew older, I started seeing things differently. I noticed how she walked with a limp, how she struggled after a long day, how tired she always seemed. I started questioning her sacrifices. Why did she work so hard? Why didn't she go back to school? Why did she let herself struggle like this? I blamed her for things she had no control over. I remember the fights we had. I would come home frustrated, complaining about our financial struggles. Why didn't you do more with your life, Mama? I asked one day, my voice filled with frustration. Why did you throw everything away? You could have had a better life. She didn't get angry. She didn't even try to defend herself. She just looked at me, a tired smile on her face, and said, "One day you will understand." But I didn't want to understand. I wanted answers. And because I didn't have them, I kept blaming her. The accident and sacrifices. Mama had a limp because of an accident she had at work years ago. She had been working in a factory, trying to earn enough money to keep food on the table and send us to school. One day, a machine malfunctioned, and she got injured. She never fully recovered. The injury made everything harder for her, walking, working, even just standing for long periods. But she never stopped. She kept going, day after day, doing everything she could to provide for us. She put her dreams on hold. She gave up her education. She gave up opportunities that could have made her life easier. And what did I do? I questioned her choices. I failed to see the love behind her sacrifices. A harsh truth. One evening, my Aunt Ngozi, my mother's close friend, called me over. She had watched me grow, and she had also seen the way I treated my mother, the lack of appreciation, the constant questioning, the blame. She sat me down and looked me straight in the eye. "Daniel, do you even know what your mother has done for you?" I sighed. "Auntie, I know she sacrificed a lot, but..." She shook her head. "No, you don't know, and it's time you did." Then she told me something that shook my world. "Evelyn is not your real mother." I laughed at first. "What do you mean?" "Of course, she is." But the look on my aunt's face told me she wasn't joking. "Your real mother, Sarah, was Evelyn's best friend. When Sarah was dying, she made Evelyn promise to take care of you and your siblings, and Evelyn did. She didn't just take care of you. She gave up everything for you. She raised you like her own. She loved you like her own." I felt like the ground beneath me had disappeared. My hands started shaking. "That's not possible," I whispered. "She never told me. She never once made us feel like we weren't her children." "Because to her, you are her children," Aunt Ngozi said. "She never wanted you to feel different. She never wanted you to think for even a second that you weren't hers." Tears welled up in my eyes. I had spent years blaming her, questioning her, making her feel like she wasn't enough, when all along she had chosen to be my mother. She had no obligation, no duty, but she chose me. She chose us. Asking for forgiveness. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about every single moment I had taken her for granted. Every time I had spoken harshly, every time I had made her feel like she wasn't enough. I had to see her. I had to make things right. I found her sitting outside our small house, staring at the sky. The moonlight reflected on her face, making her look even more peaceful than usual. I dropped to my knees in front of her, my chest tight with emotion. "Mama," I whispered, "I'm so sorry." She looked at me, surprised. "Why are you sorry, my son?" I broke down. "For everything, for the way I treated you, for the things I said, for not seeing what you did for us, for not understanding." She took my hands in hers. "Daniel, you were always my son. That's all that ever mattered to me." I sobbed. "I promise, Mama, from now on, I will take care of you. I will make sure you have everything you need. I will give you the world." She smiled, wiping my tears away. You already have, my son. You already have. A love beyond blood. From that day, my life changed. I saw my mother differently. I no longer saw her as the woman who struggled. I saw her as the woman who loved without limits. I worked hard to make sure she was comfortable. I made sure she didn't have to struggle anymore. But no matter what I did, I knew I could never truly repay her. Because how do you repay a love like that? A love that asks for nothing in return. A love that chooses you even when it doesn't have to. Final thoughts. If you have a mother or someone who has stood by you, who has sacrificed for you, don't wait to appreciate them. Don't wait until it's too late to say thank you. Love them now. Cherish them now. Because a mother's love, whether by blood or by choice, is the greatest gift we will ever have. Dedicated to all the mothers who love beyond reason, beyond limits, beyond blood.